So if you're house hunting in Hampton Roads without understanding these 7 things, you're about to make a very expensive mistake. I'm talking thousands of dollars in unexpected costs, hours of your life lost to traffic every single week, and decisions that could affect your family for years to come. The good news, guys, listen, you are in the right place, because today I'm going to walk you through exactly what you need to know to make confident, informed decisions about buying or selling in the Hampton Roads market. Are you ready for this?
Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hey, I'm Sonali Hutson, and on this channel, I strive to combine faith, inspiration, and real estate to bring you the fire that encourages your heart with kingdom principles and equips you with biblical wisdom to make confident real estate moves. Are you ready for it? Let's get into it.
And today, we're talking about the 7 things you absolutely must know before moving to Hampton Roads, Virginia in 2026. Let's get into it. So here's the first thing that you need to understand, and honestly, this is the foundation for everything else we're going to talk about today. Hampton Roads has a geography unlike almost anywhere else in the country. We're not just talking about a city with some water nearby. We're talking about a region that is literally defined by water. We have the Chesapeake Bay, the James River, the Elizabeth River, and this creates a situation where you cannot just drive around traffic. The entire region is connected by a limited number of bridges and tunnels, and there's no alternate routes. Now, Hampton Roads includes 7 major cities spread across peninsulas and separated by water. If you need to get from one side to the other, you're going to go through a bridge or a tunnel. The Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, the Monitor Merrimack Memorial Bridge Tunnel, the James River Bridge, these are all choke points that you cannot avoid. So what does this mean for you if you're relocating to Hampton Roads? See, where you choose to live in relation to where you work is not just important, it's critical. I had a family reach out to me who fell in love with a house in Suffolk, y'all. It was a beautiful property, it had a great price. It was actually priced below assessed value, exactly what they were looking for. But they were gonna be working in Norfolk, and we mapped out their commute, which should have been a 20-minute drive on paper, turned into 45 minutes to an hour each way through the Monitor Merrimack Bridge Tunnel, and that's on a good day. So we had to have a real conversation about whether that daily commute reality was something that they were prepared to live with, and ultimately we ended up finding them something that was going to cut their commute in half. See, Proverbs 24 verse 3 tells us that by wisdom a house is built, and by understanding it is established. Friends, understanding the geography in Hampton Roads is the first step in making a wise decision about where to plant your roots, okay? Now, let's talk about what happens when all of this geography comes together during rush hour. Okay, traffic in Hampton Roads is notorious, and the biggest culprit is the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel, which everyone calls here just the HRBT. Now, this tunnel handles over 100,000 vehicles every single day, and the average commute time in this region is about 35 minutes. But here's what that statistic doesn't tell you. If you're commuting through the HRBT during peak hours, that 25-minute average can easily turn into an hour or more. And again, if somebody's car is on fire, forget about it. The HRBT expansion project is currently underway, which is going to add capacity long term. But in 2026, you're still going to deal with the construction delays. The Virginia Department of Transportation has been clear that this project is going to cause traffic disruptions for several more years. So if you're moving here in 2026, you need to factor this into your decision-making process about where you're going to live. Now, if you want some practical advice, this is what I tell all the buyers I work with. If you're working on the Peninsula side, you might want to consider living on the Peninsula. And if you're working in Virginia Beach or Norfolk, stay on the Southside. If you're working in Chesapeake or Suffolk, you might have a little bit more flexibility, but you still need to think about which bridges you're going to be crossing daily. Now, if you work from home, guess what? The door is wide open. All these lovely 7 cities might just be right for you. I know this might sound limiting a little bit, but trust me, your future self is going to thank you when you're not sitting in tunnel traffic for 2 hours a day. So this is about stewardship of your time and peace of mind. Your daily commute is going to affect your quality of life, your family time, and your stress levels, so be sure to take it into consideration. Now, if you're selling a home, here's why this matters to you. Spring and summer are peak moving seasons, and buyers are doing their homework about traffic patterns. When I list your home, I'm prepared to address commute questions immediately. If your property offers convenient access to major employers without the HRBT nightmare, we're making that a cornerstone of our marketing strategy. Does that make sense? Let's talk about schools, because this is something that operates differently here in Hampton Roads than in a lot of other places. Hampton Roads uses an independent city school system. The city you live in determines the school district your children are going to attend. If you live in Virginia Beach, your kids are going to go to Virginia Beach Public Schools. If you live in Chesapeake, they'll go to Chesapeake Public Schools. There's no variation based on neighborhood within the city. The city boundary is the school district boundary, okay? Now, let's talk about niche. Based on Niche's 2026 rankings, Virginia Beach and Chesapeake Chesapeake are generally considered to have the highest rated school districts in the region. That doesn't mean the other districts aren't good, but if school quality is a top priority for your family, the city you choose to live in is absolutely going to matter. Now, beyond public schools, Hampton Roads has a strong presence of Christian schools, classical Christian education, contemporary Christian schools, Catholic schools, all kinds of choices for you. And homeschooling is growing in popularity here as well, with great support groups and co-ops throughout the region. So here's what I do when I work with families. We're going to have detailed conversations about your educational priorities before we ever look at homes. I'm going to help you research the specific city school system, connect you with families who live there, and make sure that the neighborhoods that we're touring are actually going to align with what you need for your children's educational future. Because as a mom, I understand how important education is. Now, if you're selling a home in Virginia Beach or Chesapeake, this is why I market your school district as a premium feature. See, families relocating here are doing their research, and when they see your home is in a top-rated district, that immediately elevates your property in their mind. I know how to position this in our listing strategy to attract the right buyers to sell your home. Now, this is part of being a good steward of your family's future, and I take that responsibility very, very seriously. Now, friends, let's shift gears a little bit, and let's talk about something that's going to affect every single buyer or seller in Hampton Roads. The military influence on the housing market here is massive. Hampton Roads is home to Naval Station Norfolk, which is the largest naval base in the world, plus Joint Base Langley Eustis and several other installations in our area. The Department of Defense is the #1 employer in this entire region. We have a constant influx of military personnel on PCS orders, and the peak season is in the summer months. During that time, the housing market becomes extremely competitive. Military buyers often have a very short time frame to find a home, maybe only a week or two when they're here on house hunting leave, and they need to make a decision pretty quickly. This is going to create a fast-paced market, especially for homes in certain price ranges. Even if you're not military, if you're competing for a home during PCS season, you might be up against multiple offers from highly motivated military buyers who need to move here quickly because of their orders. Now, I had a couple of civilian buyers who were relocating here for a job within a defense contractor. They found a house that they loved in Virginia Beach, and they wanted to think about it over the weekend. But by Monday, honey, the house had 3 offers, 2 of them from military families who needed to close quickly. And unfortunately, I told my buyers, look, if y'all sleep on it, you're not gonna sleep in it. By the time they made that decision, guess what? They lost out on that house because they didn't understand the pace of the market. So we learned from that experience, and on the next house, we came in strong, a competitive offer, and honey, we got those keys, okay? So here's what I do for my buyers. We're gonna get your financing completely in order before we start looking. I'm gonna make sure you have a strong pre-approval. We're gonna discuss your offer strategy, and when you find the right home, we're gonna be prepared to move decisively. I know how the military market operates, and I know how to position you to win in real estate. Now, if you're selling, especially during PCS season, this is your advantage. Now, I know exactly how to price your home to attract these motivated buyers, how to stage it for quick showings or use your furniture to stage it, and how to handle multiple offers when they come in. See, military buyers need homes fast, and if we position your property correctly, we can create a competitive situation that always works in your favor. You know what, friends? Every single day, people just like you reach out to me because they want to relocate to Hampton Roads, and I absolutely love providing them with the information that they need to make confident real estate decisions. And that's exactly why I have created several comprehensive home buyer and home seller relocation guides that are gonna blow you away. And guess what, guys? They are absolutely free. I'm talking completely free. That's right, friends. These guides have everything you wanna know. I'm talking neighborhood breakdowns, market insights, moving timelines, school information, and all the insider knowledge that we talk about on this channel. All you have to do is click the link in the description below, and I'll send these incredible resources right over to you. Now we need to talk about something that is absolutely non-negotiable when you're buying or selling a home in Hampton Roads, and that's gonna be knowing your flood zone. Given our coastal location, Hampton Roads is highly susceptible to flooding, and the risk is made worse by rising sea level. FEMA has designated large portions of this region as flood zones, and if you buy a home in a flood zone, you're gonna be required to carry flood insurance. The cost of flood insurance is gonna vary depending on what flood zone you're in and the value of your property, but it can be a significant expense that a lot of buyers don't anticipate when they're looking at homes. Now, I'm talking just a couple of $100s a month in some cases on top of your regular homeowner's insurance. And this is not optional. If you have a mortgage and the property is in a flood zone, your lender is going to require you to have flood insurance. Now, here's the deal. Hampton Roads has experienced flooding from hurricanes, from nor'easters, from heavy rainfall, and sunny day flooding, which is when high tides cause water to come up into the streets even when there's no storms. I've seen cars get stuck on a sunny day. There's been no rain, there's no storm, but the tide has caused cars to get stuck in water. A real scenario that I see all the time is a buyer who will fall in love with the house near the water because they have beautiful views, the price might be good, and it might be a dream home, but they don't check the flood zone designation. So I try to do it for them because I don't want them to get to closing and find out that they're going to need flood insurance and their normal housing costs are hundreds of dollars more than what they budgeted for. Or worse, they buy the house and the first time we get a heavy rain, their yard or their basement floods. Now they're dealing with property damage and insurance claim and they have no flood insurance. So if you're selling a property in a flood zone, we're going to need to be proactive. I'm going to help you gather documentation about your flood insurance history, any mitigation features you've installed like sump pumps or elevated utilities, and we'll disclose this information upfront. Buyers are going to appreciate the transparency, and when we position your home honestly with all the facts, we're going to attract serious buyers who are prepared for what they're getting into. Now, that's going to lead us to a smoother transaction and fewer issues at closing. See, friends, Matthew 7:24 talks about building your house on a rock and not on the sand. That's not just spiritual wisdom, it's practical wisdom for buying real estate in Hampton Roads, which is a coastal area. Now, let's talk about some costs that are going to surprise you if you're not from Virginia. These are the hidden expenses that don't show up in your mortgage payment but absolutely affect your monthly budget. First, there are personal property taxes on vehicles. This is an annual tax based on the value of your car. Depending on what city you live in and what kind of vehicle you drive, this could be several $100s a year in property taxes. It's not a one-time registration fee, it's an annual tax, and you're going to get a bill for it every single year. And when I tell you, my military buyers are always thrown off by personal property taxes. Now, secondly, Hampton Roads has a meals tax, which is a tax on prepared foods and beverages. In some cities, it can be high as 7.5% on top of the state sales tax. So when you add it all up, you're looking at over 13% in taxes on your restaurant bill. Third, I want you to think about utility costs. Dominion Energy has announced rate increases for 2025 and 2026. So electricity bills are constantly going up. And the sales tax rate in Hampton Roads is generally around 6%, which is higher than the statewide base rate. See, I had a family who relocated here from a state with no personal property tax on their vehicles. They had 3 cars, and when they got their first tax bill, they called me like, girl, what is this? Is this a scam? They had budgeted for their mortgage, their utilities, their groceries, and even their savings, but they didn't know about the annual vehicle property tax. So now I make sure that clients are aware. Now, for sellers, understanding these costs is going to help us price your home appropriately. If buyers are facing higher cost of living expenses, we need to make sure your home is priced competitively in the market so it appeals to informed buyers who've done their homework. You want to learn more about the true cost of living in Hampton Roads and how to budget for your move? Guys, get my free relocation guide by texting 757-837-0096 or by booking a free consultation. The link is in the description. Okay, friends, finally, let's talk about the job market because this is a huge factor for anyone relocating to a new area. The job market in Hampton Roads is heavily influenced by the military and defense industries. The U.S. Department of Defense is the largest employer in the region, along with major companies like Huntington Engles Industries for shipbuilding. The healthcare sector is also strong with Centaur Healthcare and Riverside Health System throughout our area. Now, the unemployment rate in Hampton Roads is generally pretty low, which is actually good news. But the job market can be competitive, especially for positions that require security clearances. A lot of jobs in the defense and government contracting sectors require some level of clearance. If you already have one, that's a huge advantage, but if you don't, it can limit your options. So if you know that's the type of career you're looking for, go ahead and get your security clearance. The economy here is stable because the military presence provides a foundation that doesn't go away even during tough economic times. The trade-off is that job growth in some sectors is slower compared to places like Northern Virginia or Charlotte, but stability actually has value. So healthcare is growing. So if you're in nursing, medical technology, hospital administration, there are opportunities everywhere here. And we have jobs in hospitality and tourism because of Virginia Beach and the coastal economy. But if you're in tech, finance, or some corporate sectors, opportunity might be limited depending on what's happening at that time of year. Here's what I tell people who are relocating for a job. Make sure you have your employment lined up before you move if at all possible. Don't assume that you're going to get here and find something easily once you get here, especially if you're in a specialized field, okay? Does that make sense? Now, for sellers, if you're relocating out of Hampton Roads for a job, I can help you coordinate your home sale timeline with your move date so you're not carrying 2 housing payments or rushing to sell under pressure. All you have to do is get in touch and let's talk about a strategy that works for you. Now, are you relocating to Hampton Roads for military orders, a defense job, or something completely different? I'd love to hear what's bringing you to the 757. Drop a comment below and let me know what what you coming to my city for? So friends, here's what you need to take away from this video. Hampton Roads is an incredible place to live, but it has unique challenges that require insider knowledge. The geography means your commute matters more here than almost anywhere else. So choose your location wisely based on where you work or where you live or wherever you're going to spend the most of your time at. The school system is city-based, so the city you choose determines your children's educational options. The military market moves fast, especially in the spring and summer. So be prepared to act decisively whether you're buying or selling. Flood zones are non-negotiable to check, and insurance costs need to be factored into your budget from day one. Hidden costs like vehicle property taxes and rising utilities add up, so budget for the complete picture. And the job market is stable but specialized, so have your employment secured before you move. Now, when you work with me, I walk you through every single one of these considerations. I want to make sure that you understand everything about relocating to Hampton Roads. I help you understand school districts. I get you prepared to compete in the military market. I show you how to budget for all the hidden costs, and I connect you with resources for employment if you need them. This is what it means to have an expert in your corner who knows the market and who knows the 757 inside and out. Friends, Hampton Roads has a strong sense of community, a vibrant faith presence, beautiful coastal living, and a region that honors and supports our military families. And I absolutely love living here. But the more you know before you move, the better prepared you're going to be to make a wise decision. Psalm 37:23 says this: "The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord." Friends, I believe that includes where you choose to live, and I'm here to help you make those steps with confidence and wisdom.
Friends, thank you so much for watching my channel. Your support absolutely means the world to me. I love helping people relocate to and from the Hampton Roads area. But listen, even if you don't need a realtor in Hampton Roads, listen, I still got your back. I have amazing relationships with incredible agents nationwide, and we're going to work together to make sure that you have an amazing experience, no matter where you're moving from or where you're moving to. So if you want to work with me, you can. All you have to do is text me at 757-837-0096. You can also drop a comment below. Don't forget, I drop new videos every Thursday evening and every Sunday evening at 6 p.m. I also drop daily afternoon shorts to keep you winning in real estate. Thank you so much for watching, friends. Listen, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Without you, I cannot grow this channel.
Friends, thank you so much for watching my channel. I'll see you in the next video. God bless you.